Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another post-game stream. As always, we are here with Rob, also known as Patriots7 on Instagram, but also the House Call Sports, right? Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
House Call Sports. So make sure you guys go check them out. We'll have them linked, of course, in the description box below. Also, you see Rob's handle right there. Go ahead and check him out on Instagram, although his links will be right there. But one of the most followed pages over on Instagram for the Patriots does the best work in breaking them down. Daily posts, thoughts, opinions. He even goes live on Instagram. So go ahead and check him out for more exclusive Patriots news. But today we're going to be breaking down the New England Patriots Week 4 dominated loss against the Dallas Cowboys. So that's what we're going to be doing today. As you can see here from me and Rob, a tough game to break down. A tough game to break down. I tried to break it down as best as I could over on Bleacher Report, but I mean, at the end of the day, you could just sum this up with about a sentence or two saying the offense shot itself in the foot again, and we killed ourselves early on. Unfortunately, unlike past games, though, there was no coming back from the deficit that we really put upon ourselves. It was just a deficit that continued and continued and continued. And before we continue to break that down, though, guys, we are announcing the Christian Gonzalez helmet giveaway winner today. I am so sad to see my prize possession go, but at the end of the day, you guys support the channel. You supported Mojo. So those of you who did enter the contest, we are announcing that winner at the end of the stream. So make sure you guys do stay tuned for that. And the winner will have about 24 to 48 hours to kind of respond and say, hey, this is my address. This is where you can send it to me. So stay tuned for that. But Rob, absolute domination by the Dallas Cowboys here. 3-38. The New England Patriots only scored 3 points in the first quarter. That was on their first drive too, I believe, offensively. But all the other 3 quarters, this team's a second half team, but all 3 quarters other than the first, this team put up 0 points. 10 points by Dallas in the first, 18 points by Dallas in the second, 3 points by Dallas in the third, and 7 points by Dallas in the fourth. The Patriots defense was able to make some adjustments there defensively in order to kind of hold Dallas there to what they were going to do offensively. But at the end of the day, Mac Jones gives 14 free points to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, going into halftime, and it's not exactly statistical in how it would play out, but with how the Patriots defense itself was performing, without the Patriots offense giving free points away and giving away free possessions and picks, that should have been 14-3 heading into halftime. But instead, it's 28-3 going into halftime. Rob, what are your initial thoughts? What are your initial feelings on this?
One or several words. If I had to give one word, just oh my god, I can't even form my damn words today. Pathetic, lifeless. Because when you looked on the sideline, there was no motivation. It seemed like they mailed it in after the first quarter. This team just, I kind of don't blame them, but it was. At some point, we gotta start pointing the fingers at a lot of things, and we're trying to hold back our tongue. At least I am, on trying to be a little brash at how we go about judging this team. But at some point, I mean, I guess we'll get into it. I'm just, this team is pathetic.
Yeah, this was the worst showing by the Patriots ever.
It was Belichick's worst loss in 29 years.
Yeah, this was the worst game I've seen from the Patriots. Not even this season, but just period. Not even in the post game Brady. No, just period. This is the worst game I have ever seen from this team, and obviously that is going to be centered around.
I need Trent Dilfer to say we're not the Patriots again. I just go ahead, please. I need something to look forward to.
Yeah, and a lot of people are especially kind of looking at me and saying, Patriots Global, look how dumb you are. Look at all of your dumb takes about Mac Jones. Now, it is very easy to look at a bad game from a player and say, hey, you were wrong. Look at all your takes. Before this game, Mac Jones was a top 10 statistical quarterback. Okay. But this was such a bad game by Mac Jones. And I was tweeting out about this. And it's not me deriding Mac Jones. It's me backing up what I see, backed up with the issues that he's had to go up against over the last few years. But today, Rob, there was absolutely no excuse from what we saw on the field. I mean, for the
Patriots, no,
he's
to blame. He's to blame. 100%.
He's to blame. For him to be benched with being what it was halfway through the third quarter says a lot. For Bailey Zappi, a guy who the Patriots cut, put back on the practice squad. No team even wanted him enough to claim him. The Patriots didn't even care enough to have him as their backup quarterback. They decided to go with him because they said, you know what? We at least want to see what you can do.
Oh, and he
because
sucks.
What Mac Jones showed us through 2.5
no,
years.
they both suck. I'm tired of. I've been on the fence. I'm like so trying to be positive with Mac, but I mean that whole throwing across the field, it worked one time, and Bourne made an incredible catch, bopped it up, almost could have been a pick six. And then he's like, oh, man, if it worked the first time, let me try it again. Let me look whoever that was over there down the whole entire time and just toss it over there again. And he doesn't have enough zip on the ball to really justify making that throw.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I thought that I just don't know what Mac Jones was doing in this game. Like, it looked like early on because, we even go back, we look at the beginning of this game, right? First drive for the Dallas Cowboys. They go down. It looks like they're just picking apart the Patriots defense left and right. But they get down to the red zone. They're about in the 5 to 10 yard range from punching it in. And the Patriots are able to stall them out defensively. A bend but don't break defense. This is something that we have seen from the Patriots over the last several years, but even this season specifically, we have seen from the Patriots, right? A bend but don't break defense against the Eagles, a bend but don't break defense against the Miami Dolphins, and a bend but don't break defense against the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be hard to shut those guys down, but if you can be bend but don't break and, give up as much yards as you want, let them drive down the field as much as they want, but only hold them to 3 points, I think that's how you play efficient football. Whatever, held them, and then the Patriots go down. They start driving the ball, and very similar to what Dallas was doing on their opening drive. The Patriots offense is looking pretty good. They're picking up some splash plays. They're going down the field fairly fast, but then they stall out around that same range, right? Around that 10, 15-yard range in the red zone, and they stall out. They put up 3 points. So now it's like a 3-3 game, and you say, you know what? This game is going to be what I thought it was. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be one of those games where it's maybe a little bit more defensive with not so much offensive scoring. And it's going to be back-to-back. I match your drive, you match my drive, and that's going to determine who the winner was. But it started to go a very different way once Mac Jones started giving up the ball. Now, Mac Jones statistically today, only 21 attempts. Now, obviously, I say only 21 attempts compared to what we've seen from him, the rest of this season through 3 weeks. But at the end of the day, let's remember, he didn't play for a quarter and a half. But Mac Jones, 12 for 21, 150 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, was sacked one time, and threw 2 interceptions. To me, should have been about 3 or 4 interceptions. He got away with a couple, and then an absolutely terrible fumble on a run play when they're already backed up offensively. When you're that backed up in your territory, or enemy territory rather, you got to just be careful with the ball. That's why you see guys just run the ball usually. You got Ramondre Stevenson, you got Zeke. I know the running game's not exactly there, but the last thing you can have happen is exactly what happened. And Mac Jones fumbling the ball, and Leighton Vander Esch, who isn't even fast, just picks up the ball and runs for about 10 yards into the end zone for a defensive touchdown. It wasn't hard. Did
he really have a lot of yards to run, dude? Like, hey, Michael Vander Esch. Michael Onwenu basically swapped jersey was what Isaiah Wynn today. Like, it just fucking hell, man. This whole team, the blocking, the defense looked like once Gonzo went out, they just gave up. Completely just gave up. And now, like, all these injuries, I'm sorry, like, I'm talking out of turn, but, like, I'm just so pissed off right now. This team, there's no heart. What is this crap that we're watching every day? That we're like, oh, we're gonna start being happy with moral victories every week. We almost beat the Eagles. We almost beat the Dolphins. Well, you know what? Let's just start being like the damn Indianapolis Colts and start hanging banners about beating teams, almost beating teams. I'm tired of this crap. I'm sorry. I'm
No, I completely agree with you. And you even go back and you look at that Mac Jones fumble. My thought process is, look, I know that Mac Jones is one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the entire National Football League, but sometimes you have to ask yourself and just look at situational awareness. And I think that that's something that so many players have had issues with, and Mac Jones being one of them is just situational awareness. Look at where you are, understand the circumstance, and understand what you absolutely cannot have happen. Because it seems like we were in certain situations and we say this cannot happen, and that's exactly what ends up happening. Mac Jones is surrounded by the Cowboys defensive players, guys who are easily faster than him, and he decides to run off with the ball. And then that's when he gets strip sack and that gets ran in to the end zone. You look at that KB pick six, wasn't even close. I don't know where Mac was putting that ball. He should have hit KB earlier and he didn't. There's nothing KB was really going to be able to do about that. It's a pick six. That Juju interception, thank God Juju was able to make that tackle, because if Juju doesn't make that tackle, that's another pick six. Later on in the game, right before Mac got benched, he threw what should have been another interception, which if that player is able to actually hold on to that ball, it ends up being another pick six. There's 3 instances where if those guys, if one guy comes up with the interception, that's 2 pick sixes. If the other guy's able to shake past Juju, that's 3 pick sixes. That's an issue for Mac Jones. And it's frustrating because you look at the toolbox. When the Patriots drafted Mac Jones, what made Mac Jones a first-round quarterback was because he was smart with the ball, he was very good with ball placement, and his football IQ. I have seen none of that from Mac Jones since 2021. I thought Mac Jones did look good to start this game. The first couple of drives, I thought he looked really good offensively. He threw some really good passes. But then once that first turnover happened, Mac Jones said, we're behind by a million.
He turns his brain off. He turns his brain off. He does this whenever he gets happy feet. Like he just, like he needs to like turn his brain off and just like let it come to him. Instead, he's forcing it every freaking play. It's like, bro, you can't make those throws. You're not Patrick Mahomes. You're not Josh Allen. You're not Joe Burrow. You can't make these throws. Why are you throwing cross body? I know I just said. Oh.
Yeah, no, I agree, but you touch upon that, right? That interception to, I believe that was the KB. I don't know if that was the pick six. It might have been the pick six was what that play was, if I remember correctly. But Mac Jones, the previous play before, runs that exact same play, and KB just makes an excellent play on the ball. And Mac Jones said, you know what? That play was pretty successful. Let's go back and run that exact play. Even though I did nothing successful, I did nothing that made that play operate the way it should have.
Can I just say something?
Of course.
Do you think maybe that Bill O'Brien or Belichick should be like, don't ever do that again? Don't ever do that again. Like that's not all on Mac too. That's from a coaching's perspective that like, hey, listen, dude, don't fucking do that again. You're lucky KB was able to get that. By the way, that catch, it was like 5 inches off the ground. How the hell he caught that? I will never be able to understand.
It'd be crazy, bro.
But somebody has to be in his headset and be like, hey, listen, man, I know that it worked, but let's not go back to the well twice.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think you look at it though, and I think, I think that there's some issues that do need to be kind of, questioned. Like, are some of these issues Bill O'Brien? Are some of these issues Mac Jones? Like, again, Mac Jones before this game was a statistical top 10 quarterback in terms of pass attempts, passing yards, passing touchdowns, but he's one of the most turnover-worthy quarterbacks in the National Football League right now. And not to mention right now, so far between Mac Jones and Bill O'Brien, these are where some of their numbers right now are placing offensively. Right now, Mac Jones is 21st in completion percentage. He's 21st in EPA per play and 28th in yards per attempt. That gives you a little bit of insight on why this offense is struggling as much as it is. And I don't put that like all on Bill O'Brien. You can obviously only do so much.
It's not all on Mac either. Right. At some point, we got to point our finger at the GM, be like, listen, you're not surrounding him with talent. You have all these problems on offensive line, and you don't. Lael Collins, isn't he available right now? Like, make the adjustments. What are we doing? We're just sitting around waiting for some kind of miracle to happen.
Yeah.
Lael Collins is out there, isn't he? What?
He is. I'm pretty sure he just got a physical this past week.
Give
He
him a
did
dollar or
clear the
something. At
physical.
some point, I'm sorry for cutting you off, man. I feel
No, you're
terrible
good,
that
bro.
I keep
No,
doing
bro.
this, but
Keep going.
I'm
Keep
just
going.
I'm heated because Belichick is just basically, look, it's not all on Mac. Although he had a bad game, he, like you said before this game, he played pretty damn good against the Eagles and the Dolphins. But at the end of the day, and this is why I will not say, I'm not calling for his head just yet, because at the end of the day, you still haven't given this kid talent. You still haven't given this kid talent. So are we going to just keep on chasing this Don Shula record? And are we going to keep messing around with just being mediocre? Or are we going to start playing like the Patriots? Because last time I checked, the Patriots meant something. Now it's just a laughing stock in the NFL. You make your DC and OC. You cut Butler. Or you didn't cut Butler. You benched Butler during the Super Bowl. You let Brady walk. At some point, we need to start pointing fingers at him. He needs to be held accountable, and he just keeps on deflecting blame. He doesn't ever say, "Hey, listen, I take accountability for XYZ's actions." It's just like, bro, give me a little bit more substance. Show me that you care a little bit. Oh,
I agree.
he had a meltdown a little bit on the sidelines. You should have a meltdown because this is disgusting.
I just feel like every single year this team really is not progressing. We're either staying standing in where we've been, or it's in one way or another getting worse. And like you said, this is really like the worst game that we've seen, one of the worst, at least, games that we've ever seen under Bill Belichick.
It boils down to Brady. And it's not saying that Mac isn't it. It's not saying that Bill O'Brien isn't it right now. It's not even saying that Belichick's not it. Brady was the most selfless player, and he let Belichick rip him apart. He also understood that, like, hey, listen, I'll take pay cuts and make this team better. I'll do all these things to make this team better. Selfless leader. And the first one in the film room, last one out the film room, first one in the practice field, last one out on the practice field. This team lacks an identity, a sense of pride, no heart. Lifeless, whatever you may be. There are certain things about this team that when I look at it, look, I get you're down, but show me that you have something going into next week to be hopeful about. I get it. All these players are down, but guess what? Injury is a part of the game. It's a part of the game.
Yeah, and I think you look at what this team even did week one. The issues aren't defensively is the thing, right? Like the main issues that the Patriots have right now are on defense. And obviously, we sustained some notable defensive injuries today. Matthew Judon seems like I'm hearing a bicep injury. He's going to get an MRI tomorrow. I'm hearing it's potentially torn. That's not a good sign for the Patriots as their biggest playmaker there defensively. You have Christian Gonzalez go down early on in this game, who's your number one cornerback right now. One of the best cornerbacks, highest graded cornerbacks in the National Football League right now. And then you have Jabril Peppers get injured later on in the game. That's not to mention who you already have out between John Jones, Jack Jones, Marcus Jones. But you know what? Despite all of these defensive deficiencies, look at what the Patriots defense has still been able to do, right? Even in the second half of this game, coming out of halftime, the Patriots defense was able to hold the Dallas offense to 3 points in the third quarter, to 7 points in the fourth quarter. And you even look at what they did in this game, even in the first half, the majority of those points, 14 of those, came from Mac Jones giving them free points and good field position with 3 turnovers at the end of the day. So you look at it and yeah, injuries are a part of the game, but the issues the Patriots are sustaining upon themselves are coming from an offensive standpoint. And we say this every week, but it's true. They are shooting themselves in the foot week in and week out, losing them games, right? Week 1 against the Eagles, 2 turnovers in the first half. What happens? You're not able to come back from the deficit. What happens week 2? Literally the exact same thing that happened week 1. The Patriots were just barely able to squeak out a game against the New York Jets. And then this week, they shoot themselves in the foot offensively more than we've seen them do over the past 2 seasons combined. This is the worst showing offensively that we saw. And they shoot themselves in the foot, except you know what? They don't make any good progress going forward, Rob. In fact, they went backwards. At least before, they would shoot themselves in the foot and then come back and give themselves a chance. In this game, they shot themselves in the foot and then kept doing it to the point that they said, you know what? let's just see what we have with this team. Let's treat the second half of this game as a preseason game. And you know what? As Patriots fans, we are used to Belichick doing that, but we are used to blowing teams out. And we are the team that lets our players go out in the second half and say, you know what, we're winning. Let's see what you have. Not say we are so bad and we're going to go out in second half and just know that we're not going to win this game. So Bailey Zappi and this, that, and the third, all the backups go out and let's see what you guys have because we know we're not going to win.
The biggest problem is that we were close in any of those games. That, I mean, is because there's some sort of moral victory out of all this. Someone rated you, by the way, botch or whatever it may be. Appreciate you rating. We appreciate you. We're gonna be doing this weekly, guys. But I mean, being close. So here's my biggest thing. We always play division. Look, we're gonna play close probably when we go against the Bills. It's just gonna. It's a matter of fact. I don't know about that. The way that the Bills look against the Dolphins today might be the complete opposite. But we always play our division rivals pretty close. So the Jets game and the Dolphins game, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude, didn't surprise me. The Eagles game, I mean, they had a new DC, new OC, and they were still figuring it out. So we caught them at the best time. So that being said, you caught the Eagles at the right time. You got 2 division games, and then this was the first game that I felt like was the first real test because all those other variables I just listed. And I mean, there's nothing to really like diagnose about this team. We're lacking a wide receiver 1. Offensive line is just like in shambles. And I mean, what positives can we draw from this? Like Douglas looks pretty damn good. Other than that, I really like I like Jabril Peppers' effort even after being down. Miles Bryant, why are you still on the team?
So am I missing something? What is Vouch rating?
I don't know. Apparently, he might be a Dallas Cowboys fan trying to rub it in. I don't know, man. But nonetheless, it's appreciated that he rated.
I don't see anybody named Vouch rate. I just see a bunch of people saying.
Well, apparently I guess that might be a YouTube thing where like they send people to rate a channel. But I mean,
dude, we are getting viewers at the end of the day, so please send even more because we are upset too. Literally, Cowboys fans come in here because we are literally on the same page as you. We are literally saying the same things.
Hey, look, man, more power to them. You guys are a really great team. I can't really hate. Like, I don't. And Arizona's not a bad team either. So I mean,
so by the way, if you guys look back at my record prediction, this isn't a rub in the face. I literally had us losing this game. Now, recently, I said
I didn't.
Maybe the Patriots could win this game. Yesterday, I was like, maybe they could because of injuries. Once the Patriots went out with the injuries they had with Gonzo and whatnot, I said, yeah, this game's just about done.
Literally, it couldn't have gotten any worse. He goes out. The very next play, Miles Bryant. Why would you put Miles Bryant on CeeDee Lamb?
Because honestly, he's your best cornerback at that point. I'd rather Miles Bryant on CeeDee Lamb than Sean Wade.
Really? Because
Miles Bryant at least has experience.
Miles Bryant better than Sean Wade.
But Miles Bryant maybe doesn't have the height that could match with it, but Miles Bryant has played week in and week out and is at least NFL ready to play in a game versus Sean Wade, who gets, snaps here and there.
He's been playing too, man. Honestly, at this point, I'd rather have a traffic cone at cornerback.
Pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has rotational pieces and he's not going up against number one, a receiver. So I think it's unfortunate because at the end of the day, and I talked about this on Bleacher, you're at a point. This is how much injuries you have, but you are at a point where Miles Bryant is being asked to be your number one cornerback when respectfully, and Miles Bryant has proved a lot of haters wrong. And I haven't been on the Miles Bryant hate train like other people have, but he hasn't been, necessarily great over the last couple of seasons, but he isn't a cornerback 1. He's not a cornerback 2. Respectfully, I don't even want him being my cornerback 3. I think he's better as a rotational piece. That's actually better.
7.
I think he's better as a safety, actually, when he's able to diagnose what a offense is doing, what a quarterback's able to do by reading the quarterback's eyes and play what's in front of him because he's so good at diagnosing and tackling, but he's not necessarily good in that sticky mirroring man-to-man coverage.
His ability to read plays, I will say, is pretty damn elite. Like if he's got a head of steam, he can tackle guys way bigger than him a lot. Not seeing today, he didn't do that, but I mean, you're not gonna sell yourself out to try to get some of these damn wide receivers. But I agree. He should be playing safety. Anybody other than him should be playing cornerback right now. But like you said, man, at some point, it's just every other week we lose a cornerback. We're gonna start going back to the practice squad and start feeling some of those guys out there.
Well, that's what we had to do. That's what we had to do at the end of the season. We had to do that last year at the end of the season, and it did not bode well for us even slightly. But you know what? There is nobody on the practice squad right now that I would be comfortable or confident coming in playing starting pieces for this defense right now. Not even slightly. So if we have Jack Jones, Marcus Jones, John Jones, and Christian Gonzalez all out for the next couple of weeks, I'm definitely worried. Now, luckily for us, in fact, Rob, I think now might be a good time to just pull up the schedule. And guys, we're going to continue to break this team down. We have some more things to hit on offensively before we even get on to defense. I'm going to even have a little bit of an interesting take on that 2-point conversion for the Cowboys.
That was a rub it in our face. There was no reason for them to do that.
So I think that so I kind of have a not a prediction, but a kind of reasoning on maybe why they did that. But let me pull up this schedule. I'm trying to find it. Okay, here it is. So this is what the Patriots schedule is looking like for the rest of the season. So let's look. Let's say that some of these cornerbacks are going to be out. Let's say that, Christian Gonzalez is out. Let's say that John Jones is going to be out for a little bit longer. Obviously, we know Marcus Jones is still going to be out for the next several weeks or whatnot. So the Patriots are going to be down some players. Let's look at this lineup that the Patriots have here. And just talk about how concerned are we going to be. So we're going to be facing the New Orleans Saints, then the Las Vegas Raiders, then the Buffalo Bills, and then Miami. So I think that against New Orleans, look, having no secondary is going to hurt no matter who you play and how good or bad they are. But I think you can find ways to get past it. New Orleans, I don't think they're going to score a lot of points with Jameis Winston either. So I'm not too worried. I didn't see how they played this week. But I'm really not too worried about that matchup this coming Sunday. Las Vegas, that worries me. I think if you don't have a secondary between Jacoby Myers, who's balling, Devontae Adams, who's balling. I know Jimmy Garoppolo is, in concussion protocol right now. We'll see if he plays in that game or not. But still, when you have two star-studded wide receivers, they're going to find ways to get open. And as long as the quarterback can get them the ball, that'll be a tough matchup that the Patriots will definitely need some secondary help. Against Buffalo, I don't have to say it. You need help against Stephon Diggs, point blank, period. Right now, even if the Patriots double teamed Stephon Diggs with the corners that they have, they would still be screwed against him. And then obviously Miami, you need a secondary for that, or they're going to put up another 70 on us like they did against the Broncos. But what is your kind of concern level looking at, let's say, the next 4 weeks or so if the Patriots have to be without some of these star corners?
Brother, I don't see a winnable game. I mean, I get it that Las Vegas is probably the most winnable game. And I'm not, look, what is Derek Carr's health with the New Orleans Saints? I don't think it really matters because even Jameis Winston's there. Last time we versed them, what did he do to us? So as far as I'm concerned, even with Las Vegas, I'm pretty sure to have, Aiden O'Connell? He's no slouch at quarterback, man. And once he gets his reps in, especially when you got Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and whatever else is that's at his disposal, that'll make any quarterback look good. So there is not, I look at that schedule, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see more than maybe 3 winnable games. Like really, 3. Like it's, and I predicted 9-8 in the beginning of the season, but I might have overshot that a little bit, but it's still early. I mean, there's still a chance, but tell me which games are like definite winnable. Washington? No.
I think you have to look at it. You have to ask yourselves injuries first. Like, what are we looking at in terms of injuries? Because if we can get these secondary, like if you can get John Jones, you can get Gonzalez back. I think that helps. If Judon, the injuries, maybe a few weeks or whatnot, isn't anything super serious, you get him back, then I think you're okay there. You look at the Washington football team, they got absolutely obliterated against the Buffalo Bills. You look at them today. Yes, they looked good against the Eagles, but at the same time, the Philadelphia Eagles haven't necessarily looked like a great football team despite being undefeated. But also, that's an in-divisional game. They always play each other hard. Belichick against these rookie quarterbacks who really are no names for the most part, he can dial something up. So I'm really not too concerned against about the Washington game. It'll still be a little closer because of what they can do defensively, but for the most part, I'm really not scared about that. The Jets game, I think, is going to be a tough one, but that's definitely still a winnable game if you can stay healthy.
No, we'll win that game. We'll win that game. It's
the Giants. That's a winnable game.
Really? Because Saquon Barkley, is he going to be back? Because at the end,
I don't know if Saquon's going to be back at that point.
They always play us tough. The Giants always play us tough, no matter who's out there.
Who's a former Belichick disciple. That'll be a tougher game. I actually have us losing that game on my record prediction, but I don't think they've been in nearly the team we thought they were. They have a terrible offensive line. I think that that is a winnable game. I think there's some games here that we're looking at and we say they are winnable games. And you know what? Before this game, we were talking about, hey, how many of these games are actually winnable, right? So I just like we don't want to look at a win and say, hey, this is what the team is going to be now that they won. We can't necessarily look at a terrible game and say this is exactly what the team's going to be either. We have to see how they're ultimately going to bounce back at the end of the day, and that's going to be my biggest question. But I do think it all starts with injuries, because it doesn't matter how well you can bounce back from a game planning, standpoint. If you don't have the players that can actually match up from a game-to-game, perspective, then this team's going to be screwed. But before we continue on some of these thoughts, guys, want to give a massive shout out to the sponsors of the channel over at BetUS, guys. Go ahead and check out BetUS right now. Link in the description below, pinned in the comment section below. Also, guys, it massively helps support the channel. They'll be sponsoring the channel all season long, all the way from August, all the way to February. This is the sportsbook of the Patriots Global channel. Not to mention the fact that, unlike a lot of other sports books, BetUS is available in all 50 states. So you don't have to say, well, Patriots Global, can I bet with them? Is my state legal? What if I'm traveling? Can I bet with them? It doesn't matter where you are, my friends. You are going to be able to use BetUS, and that is my absolute favorite thing about them. BetUS is also the online leading betting platform, offering a wide range of not just sports betting, but also casino games. So if you say, well, Patriots Global, I'm really not feeling sports books, but I am feeling some poker or some blackjack, you guys are going to be able to do that. If you guys hit that link in the description below or pin in the comment section below, I will be pinning it in the chat in just a second. You guys will receive a 125% sign-up bonus that is more than double your initial deposit. So let's say, hey, you guys put down $100, just because it's an easy number for me to do math with. Let's say you guys put down $100. That is going to turn into $225 total free dollars for you to play with, which is absolutely absurd. If you know what you're doing, you guys can make some quick and easy money. The other great thing about BetUS is that they have a really good reputation. They are super reliable, whether using their app, whether you're going to their website, and they're super secure. So you don't have to worry about anybody taking your money or it being used improperly. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, they have the best customer service out of any platform I have ever heard. Super easy to sign up. If you guys click that link, it's about like 3 steps. You got to put in your name, your phone number, your address, and you guys are pretty much all set. You guys can be betting within just a couple of minutes. You guys can bet on things like football, basketball, soccer, baseball, and even more. And they have really cool betting options too, a variety of different kinds, all the way from pregame, live betting, parlays, and even player props. So guys, go ahead and check out BetUS. Use that link to get 125% sign-up bonus and tell them that Patriots Global sent you, because guys, it directly and massively impacts the channel. But Rob, before we continue on with this team, because I'm really scared I'm going to forget to mention it, and I think you seemed a little bit hyped to talk about it also. What were your thoughts on that 2-point conversion there by the Dallas Cowboys? Because obviously that's not something you see very often, right? It was still a game the Patriots at that point could have realistically still had the chance to come back from, and you don't kick the field goal. You just randomly go for 2. What were your thoughts on that before I kind of give you my perspective?
I feel like that was a statement. Literally, McCarthy telling him that he believes in his team. I really think that was a statement. They just lost to the Arizona Cardinals, and I just think them doing that. By the way, they kind of, I know that they watched the tape. Brendan Schooler, he's this close to blocking kicks every time he's out there. So, and my biggest thing is this: the type of goal line or field goal blocking formation that we did. We basically put all our guys just jammed packed. So literally all they needed was somebody to, I'm not going to say I could have predicted it, but it looked like it was going to happen eventually to us. Just so happens it was this game.
Guys, by the way, I do have that BetUS link there for you guys. Just go ahead, sign up, see what it's all about, check out all the hype. And if you guys really do like what you see and see that, hey, Patriots Global is telling the truth, then use that code and get your 125% sign-up bonus. But hey, at least sign up and check it out. It doesn't hurt, and it's 100% free. But send that out to you guys. My kind of thought on it was you kind of look at the lineup that the Patriots had, and you looked at where the players were lined up. You looked at the number of players that were on the field, and I guarantee you that the Dallas Cowboys went into that, kind of preview the game. They went into the meetings and they said, special teams, you guys better watch out for this. And this is how you can tell when the Patriots are going to try one of those blocked attempts. And I think that they were able to diagnose what the Patriots were about to do, that they were going to try to run that same play with Brendan Schooler. Because like you said, if they kick that ball, you can go back and look at it. If they kick that ball,
He's blocking it.
That is a blocked kick by Brendan Schooler. So to me, I genuinely believe that they were able to look back on what they did from the meetings that week and say, you know what? We were able to diagnose that play because of the meeting throughout the week. We were able to prepare, and they saw what was in front of them and said, you know what? This kick is about to be blocked. Let's just go for a trick play and run that 2-point conversion. And that's exactly what they did. They had nobody out to the side because they were running a certain personnel to block the kick that made that 2-point conversion super easy, as long as Brendan Schooler isn't able to diagnose that it's going to be a fake and actually tackle the passer.
I think that there was some kind of signal, because I don't think that they planned on it initially to go for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just like how we blocked it and we looked for a tell with Jake Bailey, when he breathes in, that's the tell that, okay, I'm about to hike the ball and the kicker's going to kick it. Well, I guess our tell, we might have given it away to them, and they're like, okay, hey, listen, someone might have said something, someone might have made a sign on the sideline or whatever it may be, and then they're like, okay, listen, we're going to fake this, and it worked. I mean, couldn't have schemed it up any better, but I just didn't like how we went about that. Like, I don't know. You got everybody crammed up so compact. It kind of looked a little predictable that we were just like trying to go for the block.
Yeah, and I think that's going to have to be something special teams wise, because I really don't have anything about special teams other than this. So I guess it was probably easier to just bang that out. But that really was just the nail in the coffin to the beating that the Patriots got today. And at the end of the day, like that play came on earlier in the game. But in hindsight, it really was just the nail to the coffin, because even if they don't go for 2 points and they just kick the field goal, or the extra point rather, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't change the game in any way, shape, or form, but it really is just the nail in the coffin. And I think you're at a point where, hey, the Patriots schemed up something that is going to change the NFL from a special teams perspective in my mind. But now the Patriots have to go back to the drawing board and say, how do we not be predictable? Because they clearly knew what we were doing, and they clearly were able to scheme around it that let them, as in the Dallas Cowboys special teams, go for the 2-point conversion. And if that happens in a game where it's a closer game when the Patriots are playing and the Patriots have to go and score one or multiple 2-point conversions, I don't know how confident I am with this offense. If it comes down to having to win a game by, successfully going for a 2-point conversion, I don't know if I would. So I think they have to kind of go back to the drawing board from a special teams perspective and try to figure out, how do they not make this as predictable so teams aren't going back and forth?
Breaking. Per Adam Schefter, Patriots standout pass rusher Matthew Judon suffers a lower bicep tendon tear during today's loss in Dallas.
Did it say anything of the sorts of how long we are looking?
How much time he will be silent for still being evaluated?
Anything torn is not okay. He's going to be out for time. He's going to be out for time. I'm not sure how long. In fact, let me see. You said it was a bicep tear.
You carry on. I'll take it.
You got it. Got you. So, guys, we're going to try to figure out how long a bicep tear could potentially keep him out for. I don't know off the top of my head an injury related to this and how long they could be out. Matthew Judon is an absolute stud, so he's going to try to come and push back as much as he can, but he's not.
He's probably done. He's done.
He's not going to come back week 1. You think he's done for the season?
It says 6 months to a year for recovery.
For a bicep? Ooh.
Yep, he's done. It often takes 4 to 5 months. Bro, even that much is still, he's done.
Usually tears aren't as good. Usually tears are injuries
that you don't want him. You don't want him playing for this.
Usually tears in general keep you out for the season a lot of times, but it always depends on where the tear is. So I'm not exactly sure. I didn't want to say he's going to be out for the season because I'm not sure, because certain tears.
Well, I may be wrong, but I'm reading it right here, and it says it often takes 4 to 5 months. I mean, we don't have that many months in the fucking.
Usually tears in general are a couple months out, whether that's, an ACL tear, whether that's a tear in your chest, right? Like we see these, and usually those tears are going to keep you out at least a couple of months. So I would, sounds like he's probably going to be out.
I got to report this.
it's probably going to be out for a little bit. So that's another player biting the dust here for the Patriots from a defensive standpoint. Like always, I will make a video on the channel about this when we have more news. I'm obviously not going to break anything down on the channel specifically until we get some actual nail biting, hard to the facts truth. But obviously, if that is the case, that is a massive loss to the Patriots defense and what they want to do from just multiple different alignments defensively. But, Judon's also getting up there in age. So the question mark is going to be, is he going to be able to come back and be the same player as he was before or not? I guess the only bright side you could take away from this, and there really isn't any bright side, so you're really digging for one. The only bright side is maybe you get to see more of Keon White at this point, but I think that also means that at the trade deadline, you can't trade somebody like a Josh Uche, which maybe they could have done before. You can't do that now, and Josh Uche becomes a pivotal piece for your defense. Absolutely, like I said, the game just keeps getting worse and worse. You get blown out. Now you have key injuries with guys that are potentially out for the season. Gets worse and worse from New England. Something that upset me even more. Let me pull up my stats again. Something that upset me even more, and Rob, I'm pretty sure you reported on this too, is the fact that going into this game, we knew that it was the Zeke Elliott reunion, which, by the way, what a slap in the face to Zeke to be like, hey, we're going to go back to your old team and just get absolutely demolished. But also, they said that this was going to be like the bell cow game for Zeke Elliott, right? Like he was going to be the lead back who gets a lot of opportunities in this game. And he didn't. And Rob, I think you know too, I've been clamoring the table that Zeke Elliott, until this blocking gets figured out in the run game for this offensive line, that you need to give the ball to Zeke Elliott more than Ramondre right now, because Ramondre is constantly getting stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage. We're not seeing big runs from Ramondre, and I think that starts because of the issues of blocking with the O-line. So you need to go with the guy that is the stronger back, that is going to be the power back, that puts his shoulders down and just runs through guys, because it's very hard to tackle Zeke Elliott because of how big and powerful he is. He's not a guy that you're going to be able to tackle backwards. He's always going to fall forwards, which is usually going to get him stopped at or at least in front of the line of scrimmage. He's very rarely ever going to get stopped behind the line. So tell me, even with the reports that came out before the game started, why Ramondre Stevenson, 14 total carries, and Zeke Elliott gets six total carries on the day for 16 yards and a long run of 9. Explain that to me.
Smoking bullshit. That's what it is, man. I don't know who fed that rumor, but let's be honest with ourselves. Zeke has been the better running back up until now. Well, not even. Was he a better? I got to the point where I wasn't even keeping track of stats. It was that bad of a game, but he's up until this game, he's been the better back. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really buy too much into reports because Juju's knee didn't look like it was going to explode. And that was something that was reported. So at this point, like, what is real and what's not real? Like, but I will say this. I don't really even blame our running backs. Nobody can point fingers at Ramondre Stevenson or Zeke if we don't have a good game from here on out. Our offensive line, I mean, they can't block half the time. And last game they did pretty good. In this game, I don't even know how many times did he get sacked? I don't even, bro. I got to the point.
So Mac Jones was sacked one time, and Bailey Zappi was sacked one time. The Patriots were able to sack Dak Prescott 3 times.
Regardless, more sacks than we need to be getting. And being that, even if they weren't getting sacks this game, the fact of the matter is that like the defense is literally like so close to getting to our quarterback or pretty much in the backfield every play, or where we can't even get enough of a blocking for our running backs to get busy. I mean, it doesn't matter. So I'm not really going to put too much blame on our running backs right now. Thank God if this just seems to be a trend for the rest of the season. This upcoming draft, and I'm not trying to think too far ahead, for wide receivers and offensive line is great. I know that's something we shouldn't be thinking about, but
just quarterback. I'm
not going to say that.
I'm just saying. And I've been, you know how I feel about Mac, right? So I'm just saying, if that's the route they decide to go,
and how have I felt about Mac? I said I was on the fence. Yeah, I neither picked a side nor have I. And right now, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot. Only so much of the fragrances or potpourri you can go and spray into the air to cover up all the bullshit I smell. But it's getting pretty. I mean, look, when my biggest thing is, can you handle things when everything isn't right? Can you handle things when he looked like he did last year? Wounded puppy on the sidelines. Get up. Get up. Go motivate your teammates. What are you doing? I want to see a leader.
Yeah, I will say that's something we haven't seen from Mac Jones. And, I do wonder how much last year kind of impacted that mental processing
I
or
don't
just
want to hear, man.
processing in general. I know, but that is it. That's not making excuses, because at the end of the day, he's playing how he's playing. But I genuinely do wonder, like, and,
What
and that's it. That is a understandable thing to say is, hey, if we had Bill O'Brien last year, or we had, freaking Josh McDaniels
so he
last year,
needs everything perfect, is what you're
just
telling me.
what would have things been? I think that's just my point. Is
Maybe
what would have
better.
things been? But at the end of the day, no, like Mac Jones, it doesn't matter, because even through 2021, his rookie season, up until now, Mac Jones has what, maybe one comeback drive. There's still question
Against
marks
the
on.
Texans.
And there's one, exactly. And it's question marks on when you are down low, can you come back? Or, hey, when we are down, are we just down? And we say, you know what? We are down, and that's about it. We wrap this game up. No point in me watching. And I will say, how many quarterbacks are actually going to be able to give you that comeback ability? That's a very hard thing to find. But at the end of the day, that is a very important thing to have. But at the very least, Mac Jones needs to be on the sidelines, figuring things out, making sure that his players are locked in, and he doesn't do that.
But how are we to find out? I mean, I'm going to go and stick up for him now. How are we to find out what he has if we keep on surrounding him with Walmart cashiers and mailmen? Like, bro, like, I swear Belichick goes to the clearance aisle at Walmart and he's like, hey, listen, you know what? I want that guy. Hey, Juju looked good when he was
I
opposite of
thought today he
Travis
looked good
Kelce.
too.
Yo, no.
Oh, you don't even think today. You
No, no,
think
no.
I thought he looked good today.
I'm gonna have a rebuttal. So Juju looked good when he was opposite Travis Kelce and Antonio Brown. He has never looked good as a wide receiver one option or as a guy that can basically be within himself. He has to have somebody opposite of him. So my biggest thing is this. I love me some Devontae Parker. But for God's sake, like, this is what you put your money into, and you could have paid a little bit more and got a D-Hop. Then the excuses go out the window. You got a wide receiver one. Why are we going bargain bin shopping when that only worked with Brady?
No,
There's
I
something,
I agree.
there's
I agree.
something about Brady. Listen, this is not a shot at Mac, because not nobody can be Brady. It's very hard, but there is something you can replicate. Be a freaking killer. Be ruthless. When Sauce was, when you nut tapped him, whatever, instead of doing that, why don't you get in his face? He slapped your hand away. Get in his face. Punch him in the face. Do something that makes me want to believe in you. Get angry. Don't pout. Because what you're showing me is that you're a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the whole, like, punch Sauce in the face. I mean, like, I want to see.
I'm okay.
I want to see that drive, Rob. I want to see the drive, but I don't want to see that kind of drive. Put it back on the field.
Well, opposite side of the spectrum. So you'd rather him hit him, and I know it's a big what if whether or not he did it or not, but you would rather that. So my
No, I
biggest
mean,
thing is get in his face.
So I mean, I personally don't, and you guys already know about this. I really don't think that he hit Sauce in the nuts, just because there's no evidence. And
There isn't
I
evidence,
still
really.
don't believe there really isn't, because I also still don't see how, if someone goes and taps you in the balls, how respectfully you're not going to be like, oh, okay, like, you're not going to move, you're not going to jump, you're not going to do nothing. So there's no movement of his body, Sauce's body whatsoever. So you're telling me you got so pissed that Mac Jones tapped you in the nuts, but then you stand completely still when he does it. I think it's BS. But you know what? That's besides the point.
I just want to see him. I just want to see this kid angry. Like, get angry. Like, get in these guys. You Mosley just slammed you to the ground. Why are you getting in Sauce's face? Go and get in his face. Did you see any of his teammates go to try to help him up? Like, go and try to bash up Mosley. That's telling to me. Like, why aren't your teammates supported of after Mosley basically body slammed you like he was at a WWE match?
Which was dirty, respectfully.
Okay, why wasn't any of his teammates like really like clamoring to try to go after Mosley?
No, I agree. But at the end of the day, like, like you said, that's telling, and there's nothing else that we can really say about it. But you know what? And not to compare Mac Jones and Tom Brady again, like you said, but
No, I wasn't
Brady,
not as far as the player, man. Just
exactly.
like the
But like
mentality.
But like exactly, and what you said, but if you saw that recent interview with Tom Brady, he said like he loved that fire. He would love to get pissed off. Like he wanted to be pissed off in games because he used that as fire, and he wouldn't use that as something to, you know, make him cry on the sidelines or pout or whatnot. But he would use that as fire to be like, you know what, F you, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. Exactly. I'm gonna go down the field. I'm gonna win this game. I'm gonna put up 100 points over you, and I'm gonna make you look like you don't deserve to be in the league.
Stop being friends with your opponents.
That's how Mac Jones needs to be. And I will agree. And again, I don't necessarily think that like Mac Jones is a backup quarterback in the league and he'll be nothing. I'm not gonna go that far.
No, we're not.
You know?
Okay, so I'm not going that far. It's still a lot of season. You're gonna. I mean, Brady put up a stinker against the Chiefs when we were down, and that's the famous Trent Dilfer line. The Patriots are not the Patriots anymore. And then we went on to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're going to win a damn Super Bowl because we're in a worse situation than we are in that situation. But what I'm saying is you never know what might happen for the rest of the season. We didn't know that the damn Bengals were going to get blown out by the damn Tennessee Titans today. I mean, there's just a lot of things that, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, this might be a good thing that the Bengals are doing bad. And I get that T. Higgins went out today, but that lessens his value even more. Maybe we go get a T. Higgins. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how, you know, when he's going to be able to actually play for you, but yeah, no,
I don't care at this point. Like,
you get him for next year, then you get him for whoever's your quarterback, right? But like, I do agree. And that's the last thing I'll say about Mac Jones, and we'll move on, is we're in a really tough position. I really do think we are. And there's nobody making excuses, but you do look at both sides of the spectrum. Today, there were plays that he should have made, and he was overthrowing people. Devontae Parker had a slant or an in route, I believe, in the third quarter. And Mac Jones could have hit him and didn't. Like you said, the Gesicki play. Mac Jones threw a lot of bad passes today. He had a lot of bad moments today. Open. There were a lot of just passes that should have been completed when guys are, you know, NFL wide open, and he didn't make those, right? So there are some things about Mac Jones that you say, you know what? Can you be a franchise quarterback? Can you be our future quarterback? We are, you know, I don't want to say a quarter way through, because I don't think we're about a quarter way through yet of the NFL season, but you know, we're slowly creeping upon. We're heading into week 5, and we still have the same questions about you that we've had since you were drafted. But you also have to go on the other side of the spectrum and say, you know what? Mac Jones also was never given a true wide receiver one. You got rid of his favorite targets. You know, Jacoby Myers, you got rid of him for Juju, who has put up what? Like 100 some yards maybe so far. Like,
I don't completely blame Juju either. Like there may be a chemistry issue, but at the end of the day, man, like whatever, man. Like you should have kept Jacoby Myers. That was our safety blanket. The problem with Jacoby Myers is his yards after the catch was one of the worst.
Exactly. And that's what you were hoping to be. That's what you were hoping was going to be better with Juju. But at the same time, too, are you telling me that Juju got to New England and all of a sudden his knee was going to explode? Like no, I don't know. You got to do better. I think your evaluation.
Albert Breer
is better with the evaluation, bro. Yeah, I think you have to. And you got rid of Jacoby Myers for this guy who was your leading receiver for like the last 3 years. You got to do better. But like we said,
Braxton Berrios, go look at how he looked with the Dolphins. I get it. They have all those people. Look, bro, we keep on letting. Look, I like me some Braxton Berrios. I think he could have been an Amendola at the very least. But like, yeah. I just don't like. We got to stop. It looked like we played conservative today too, but like we got to stop. Not even just being conservative with our play calling, because I don't think I can't even blame Bill O'Brien. What does he have to work with at this point? Like I'm sorry. Like I know you won't do it. I'll do it. Maybe I'll get the hate. Belichick needs to take some of this blame already. Like, no, what is this? Okay. So you do agree with me. What is this crap? What is this crap? Like, stop it.
Bro, I was saying that last year, bro. I was saying that last year when Belichick said before the Matt Patricia experiment, blame me if this goes wrong, and then he never said anything.
And he never took accountability for me. My biggest thing is I love him as a head coach. I still will love him as a head coach.
From a scheme ability, he's the best.
But at the end of the day, we need to I'm sorry. I don't think Tua's now looking like a damn all-star, but he got the guys around him. But in this league also, I don't even know if we could win with Belichick anytime soon if we could. He's a defensive head coach. This is an offensive league. Mike McDaniel looks great. Andy Reid looks great, obviously. And all these offensive coaches look great. It's a different league, man. Like at this point, like he's just so stuck in his ways. I like the new 3 tight end set, but that, I mean, that's going to, how far is that going to move the needle at the end of the day? You got, at this point, we need to try to figure out which teams are on the way. Like they're not going to do anything. The Vikings, I know it would never happen. It would never happen. We'd have to mortgage literally like our whole damn team to get it. Justin Jefferson, but that would obviously that would never happen. We need to do something. If they say we do nothing for the rest of the season, I want to at least go and try to trade for a wide receiver 1. Go talk to somebody. Because if we're just because at the end of the day, if you're going to wait for the draft to get somebody, we've already shown we can't draft. Or if you're going to go and say you want to go and try to, I don't know, pick someone off of free agency or whatever, we haven't shown that we can do that right either. Like, it's just the same, like, get a new scout. Like, at this point, like, we don't even know how to scout wide receivers anymore. Demario Douglas looks great, but he's not going to move the needle for any other team. He's a 3rd, 4th, 5th option on another team.
They're not even playing him the way they should be.
He should be in the slot. He should be
playing more overall is what he should be doing. But my biggest concern right now, my biggest concern overall is you have question marks about the quarterback. There's question marks on if the quarterback is actually dirty or not. There's question marks on if Belichick is stuck in his ways. And at the end of the day, money talks. And they are going to have a lot of money over the next couple of years, and they're going to have to use it the right way. But I look at this and I say, I mean, dear God, like you have a lot of
Aguilar,
John Smith becoming free agents. Like, you know, how are you going to bring back Hunter Henry? How are you going to want to bring back Mike Gesicki? Because at the end of the day, with all of these questions and concerns and, you know, no real path heading forward for success, who really wants to play for you? It's going to have to be money talks.
You're going to have to overspend for somebody. At the end of the day, you're going to have to overspend for somebody. And I'm going to be honest with you, the culture now has shifted to, I don't know, embarrassment. On the sidelines, why is it that I'm looking at this team? It just, I get it, you're down. But it doesn't seem like there's any fight at all. Like, what is this? Just have, like, pretend like you care at least a little bit.
Yeah, no. And if there's one player that I want the Patriots to re-sign, and I think they need to re-sign this offseason is, I mean, Hunter Henry, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 51 yards again today. He's usually
not going to come back here. Why would he come back here?
50 yards. You got to throw the bag at him. Like we just said, you got to throw the bag at him at the end of the day. I think that's how you get him back. But you know what? Which tight end is really going to be better than Mike Gesicki is right now for the Patriots? Like, let's genuinely ask ourselves that. You know, we're asking ourselves how is this running back, how's this wide receiver going to fit in this system? Like, and we're having struggles with those guys actually doing so. Keep a guy that's actually doing good for your system in Hunter Henry, who I said they should have extended this offseason, and they didn't. But anyway,
I would say that for the longest time that we should have extended him. We should have extended Judon. Should have extended him. I'm pretty sure we reworked Judon's contract. Yeah, you got it.
Give him more money. Yeah, so he was happier.
Okay,
so we came back to practice. But yeah, we didn't add any years on. But from a defensive standpoint here for the Patriots, again, if they don't shoot themselves in the leg offensively, this really wasn't a terrible. Defensively, right? I mean, dude, Dak Prescott, 28 for 34 was good from a completion percentage standpoint, but they're mostly operating in the short to intermediate route. So that's understandable. But 261 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, got 3 sacks. And then you had Cooper Rush come in, who is actually like a low-key good backup quarterback. 2 for 2, 20 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions and whatnot. They, as a unit, both of those guys came in 30 for 36, 253 yards, which I'm not sure how that maths, but not my business, and 1 touchdown.
It's not bad. It's still not bad, but it's just that, like, maybe it changes. Maybe you're not put in a situation where like they're putting up so much points because our defense is not so dejected from our offense, giving up a pick 6 and a fumble 6. Like there are things that go into the reason that even happens. Like, would you, as a defender, you're going to defend hard as hell to try to go and like do your thing? No, you're just going to be like, hey, I just want to get out of this game already.
Yeah, and I mean, even just one more thing, not to pivot back to the offense, but one more thing I will say too about Mac Jones. I mean, you threw 2 interceptions to the to the same guy too, you know? Like you got to be a little bit better to once you throw that first initial pick and that's a pick six, you don't go back to that guy, and he didn't. But like I said, at the end of the day, this isn't, I think, a thing we're going to see every single week, right? Like this isn't a problem every single week that we're going to see from the Patriots. This was a dominant defensive Dallas Cowboys defense. We have seen that from the first few weeks of the season, what they were able to do to opponents, right? This is the number one scoring defense in the National Football League. Like it is scary. We knew that this was going to have some issues. I think that maybe we undermined them a little bit because of that loss to the Cardinals this past week, which, by the way, the Cardinals, Josh Dobbs, maybe they're underrated a little bit because they're
very underrated
2 weeks so far. But you know what? We're not going to be facing a defense like this every single week. A team still has to be better, but at the end of the day, do understand a little bit of them circumstances that you did just go up against the number one scoring defense in takeaways and the number one defense in terms of scoring. But Rob, do you have anything else to say about them from like a defensive standpoint?
I don't know, man. I don't. I really don't.
So I have a question for you that I'm seeing through the chat. So guys, we're only going to go for about a little bit longer. By the way, if you are a Patreon member, that link is on Patreon. If you want to come join us right now, quickly share your thoughts with us about this game, any thoughts, comments, or concerns. Like I said, that link is on Patreon if you guys do want to come join us. But a question that I'm seeing a lot, and obviously with how Mac is playing, and they went with Bailey Zappi in that, halfway through the third quarter, do you think, or do you want them to roll with Bailey Zappi or a lot of people screaming Malik Cunningham? What are your thoughts on kind of that whole situation? Like, I can't believe we're talking about this because they were both cut at roster cutdowns and no other team wanted to pick them up. But what are your thoughts?
Okay, so you want what? Malik Cunningham's what, like 5'10"? I love me some Malik Cunningham, but like we gotta stop being a prisoner of the moment. I don't want him to get killed. He hasn't gotten a snap this. So Zappy, I don't think he even moves the needle for you at all. Zappy is Mac is Zappy. So like at this point, it's like, what are you just doing? You're just gonna get the same bullshit. And with Malik, I mean, you'll get a mobile quarterback. So at this point, look, one more game. If we don't do anything, then throw him out there. What the hell do you have to lose? Like, what if we go and lose this next game? Why not? So, I mean, I love Malik Cunningham. I love his mobility, but at the end of the day, that type of offense, I mean, it's not saying that he can't do it. He has a better arm than Mac does. There's no way around that. That one pass he made to Trey Nix in the end zone in the preseason, that was the best throw since Brady that we had here. And look, if we lose one more game, put him out there. What the hell do you have to lose? Sit Mac. We're done. I'm done. I don't care about if he puts up a valiant effort or not. If we lose one more game, or at least next game, I'm off. I'm done.
All right, so my thoughts on this situation, Rob. Look, like you said, prisoner to the moment. And I think that as Patriots fans, we see any glimpse of success, and we scream to go grab that player or put that player in, no matter what the circumstance is. Just like anytime a player disappoints us or performs bad or has a bad game, we are asking them to release that player, trade that player, kick that player out, no matter how good or bad they've looked previously. I don't think that Bill Belichick goes with Bailey Zappi or Malik Cunningham. I think if he does either, it would be Bailey Zappi. But I don't think Matt Corral even wants to play here, to be completely honest with you. I don't know what the situation was.
Oh, wait, he has an emotional injury or some shit, right?
He's dealing with some mental stuff, but like
there's no joke with that.
I do wonder, like, if maybe he also this system was too much for him. Maybe
it is.
It was back and forth, which is understandable. But between Belichick and the system, it can be a lot. And if you're dealing with mental health stuff, like I could see where it was a lot.
Take care of that, man. That's
priority. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I don't know the whole situation that was going on. I just know that he was on the 53. Then he was dealing with stuff. Randomly wasn't showing up to practice. People had to check on him. The Patriots found out he was okay. Then it was that they put him back on the practice squad. Then it was they didn't put him on the practice squad. They brought him in for a workout, and then just nothing.
Well, this is a rough system to be a part of. Bill O'Brien spares no feelings. So
neither does Bill. Neither does Bill, and we know that. So like I said, I don't blame him whatsoever if it doesn't work out. But I think that there was some potential there. So, but I think that it would probably be Bailey Zappi, but I think Belichick says our best, potential of winning is Mac Jones. And at the end of the day, right now, can you argue that? No, you can't. The Patriots, if Mac Jones isn't the answer and they truly are saying, dear God, we need an upgrade at quarterback, then the best way of doing so is you're going to have to ride out this year, kind of stick with whatever comes and figure out that situation in the offseason, whether that's trading for a quarterback, whether that's signing one, whether that's drafting one, whatever they decide to do.
My biggest problem is we're going to win enough games to not be in, and this is the draft, to get the quarterback that threw 6 touchdowns against Colorado this weekend.
Yeah, you're not getting Caleb Williams.
No, we're not.
I'm telling you 100%. Any Pats fan that thinks that's logical,
no, I don't. But if you told me if we could have a chance, and I'm not, look, I mean, I'm still riding with Mac. Only, I don't know. I can't believe I just said that, because I'm still on the fence about him. But at the end of the day, bro, I would sell the house to get this kid. Sell everything. They want 17 first-round picks. Do it, because at least you have the one position we got taken care of. Then you got the money. So if you go and give away all those damn draft picks and all the whatever, when we've always been able to build in like the 3rd and 4th round, screw it. We're not good at drafting in the first round outside of Gonzo and maybe a couple players here and there. But at this point, like, trade everything. Everything.
So, I don't think that happens unless the Patriots truly do have like a top 5 pick, which, like you said, is not going to happen.
It's not. We're going to win 6 games.
They're not going to give up the house for a player. And at the end of the day, it's a tough situation, right? Because you look at it and you say, there has been so many first-round quarterbacks that have been legendary, and they're going to be the next big thing, and they're great, and then they aren't crap. And the last thing you want is for the Patriots to be at a standpoint where they give up the entire house, and then he doesn't work out for the system, or he doesn't be what we thought he was going to be, or Belichick does the same thing with Caleb Williams that he does with Mac Jones, and then he ends up not being successful. So at the end of the day, I don't see that happening. I don't think it's logical. I don't think it happens, but this is a good quarterback class. And we're not going to get into who they could, grab with, if they don't go with Mac Jones, because that's a situation we'll cross when the time comes. We're literally only into week 4. Let's see how things continue to develop themselves.
I'm not saying
out.
I'm not saying, okay, so a couple times I said that, okay, let's wait it out. It's still a young season. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't think Belichick could ruin this kid. I don't. The throws he makes are just incredible. But like you said, like, it's still, I'm trying to be positive. I really am. I'm trying to somehow keep my sanity, because this is not a playoff team. Like, what are we playing for? What are we waking up every week for? Why am I turning my TV on to watch Patriots football? Am I just going to diagnose them every week and get on here and talk about, oh, what we could have done, this play, that play? At the end of the day, Belichick needs to evaluate this team and look at it and be like, what are we playing for? Because, I mean, look at the landscape. No, this is not an easier landscape that we got. The games are not getting any easier. You're the hardest schedule in the NFL. What are we playing for?
Exactly. They do have the hardest schedule in the NFL, which is something that should also be noted. But I will say, too, like, personally, I do think that the hardest part of your schedule is out of the way. I mean, you played the Dolphins again, but I mean, you had to play the Eagles, the Dolphins, the Cowboys. Like, it was a tough start of the year. And I don't think it necessarily is going to be as hard as that is. But like you said, hardest schedule in the NFL. You have the hardest for a reason. But back to kind of my point there. Bailey Zappi or Malik Cunningham, it mind boggles me that despite those guys both being released, no other 31 teams in the league said they were good enough to be a starting quarterback, a backup quarterback on their roster, or even a 3rd string quarterback on their roster. But we're saying that he should replace Mac Jones, in Bailey Zappi or Malik Cunningham, and should be the starting quarterback of this team right now, which, like you said, faces some crazy defenses, and has the hardest schedule in the National Football League. Not to mention the fact that even with Malik Cunningham, how many teams passed on him in the draft? Not even the 6th round, not even the 7th round, but we're going to try to crown him as the next big thing. Look, I'm not here to hate on Malik Cunningham, but the Patriots utilized him as a wide receiver this entire offseason. They played him as a quarterback in 1 quarter of your first preseason game against 3s and 4s. Yes, he had an excellent pass in the preseason, but at the end of the day, we're freaking out about 1 crazy pass in the preseason. He barely threw any passes. He was running the ball the entire time. To me, that says, okay, he should be a gadget player. Maybe he's someone you can use in different offensive packages. But to tell me that he should come in and be a starting quarterback on your team over Mac Jones, over Bailey Zappi, when he has shown really nothing of a quarterback should do.
And who's to blame because of that?
NFL roster. What?
Who's to blame because of that? Because Belichick didn't play him that much in the preseason.
But that should also showcase the fact that he's not ready. No other team even saw him as a team as a quarterback.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to evaluating offensive talent, other than maybe running back, I don't trust Belichick. I don't. And I don't, maybe, because we also had Dante Scarnecchia. Maybe, because Dante was also in the war room when we were making our drafts. Okay, so there's that. And when it comes to quarterback, Belichick didn't even discover Tom Brady. Dick Rabine did. I challenge anybody to go look that up. And he didn't get to even witness the 6 Super Bowls that Brady got us. But so what do you got? Ryan Mallett, Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. That might have been a good one. He just can't stay healthy. But what is it that he evaluates other than running back and maybe on? Okay, so defense, he evaluates defense better than anybody. But offense, he needs to pass the torch to someone else to make those decisions.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I don't think Belichick should be a GM.
So then what do you do, man? I'm sorry for cutting you off. What do you do? Are you going to keep Mack in the rest of the season? I'm saying right now you're going to keep at least next week. I would put him in. I would keep him in. But outside of that, if we lose again, what are you playing for?
You have to. You're not playing for anything. But at the end of the day,
why?
At the end of the day, but at the end of the day, why are you going to put in Bailey Zappi? Why are you going to put in Malik Cunningham?
No, I don't know. Bailey Zappi should be at Chick-fil-A.
Bailey Zappi couldn't complete a pass over the line. But you know what? The same thing for Malik Cunningham. Malik Cunningham is still working as a wide receiver with the team. So what's the purpose in running him
man. I don't know. I'm just as frustrated as you, man.
What's the purpose in running Malik Cunningham as a quarterback in the regular season when he only played 1 quarter as a quarterback in a preseason game against the Texans? But again, that still says something. And he hasn't been utilized in this actual Patriots offense. Like, I don't think that the Patriots, they're going to have to very much dumb down this offense in order to put him in. It doesn't make sense to put in Malik Cunningham. And you know what? It's going to be really funny when he absolutely craps the bag and makes this offense look even more terrible than Mac Jones did today. Because again, we're talking about how bad this offense looked today. Again, it was statistically top 10 before today. Mac Jones was statistically top 10 in terms of passing yards, passing touchdowns, attempts, this, that, and the third. So you think that Malik Cunningham is going to come in and be a better quarterback than Mac Jones has so far? No, he's just going to constantly run the ball. And when teams get tape on him, or when we face really good defenses that can actually stop the run, he's going to stall out. I'm telling you right now, he's not what people think he is. I want to see more. I want to see more of him. I want to see more of him. But to tell me that he should be replacing Mac Jones in week 5 for the rest of the season, when you saw him 1 quarter of a preseason game, is absolutely absurd, and it doesn't make sense to me. But Rob, let me tell you about my friends here real quick. You ever heard of Mojo, Rob? You ever heard of Mojo, Rob?
Yeah, Mojo.
I absolutely love Mojo. Guys, if you don't know about Mojo, go ahead and check them out. So Mojo is actually the reason that we are able to do a couple of giveaways. So unfortunately, if you didn't enter the giveaway for the signed Christian Gonzalez helmet, you're a little bit too late, because we are going to be announcing a winner here in just a couple of minutes. But we are giving away a Zeke Elliott jersey, and it's going to be the same details as it always is, pinned in the chat right now. You guys can click on that link, go ahead and download the Mojo Fantasy app, and that will get you guys into a giveaway for a Zeke Elliott home jersey. Yes, you guys heard that right. We're giving this baby away, and now we're on to our next giveaway, our final giveaway for right now, a Zeke Elliott home jersey. So if you guys want to enter that giveaway, all you have to do is click the link or scan this QR code right here with your phone, and it'll take you to the App Store. Download the Mojo Fantasy app. That's all you guys have to do. That is all you have to do to enter this giveaway, is just use that link or scan that QR code in order to download the Mojo Fantasy app. Completely free, and you guys will be entered. But another cool thing is, if you guys are in a legal state with Mojo, you guys can also get a 100% deposit match up to $100, right? So you guys will not only be entered in a giveaway for a Zeke Elliott jersey, but you guys can also get some free money to play with via Mojo. And Mojo is this crazy new app that turns sportsbook odds and selections into fantasy contests. And here's how it works. There are going to be thousands of NFL and MLB player props, and you guys build a portfolio. And the better that your portfolio performs, the more cash that you guys win. You guys pick as many props as you want, and you guys try to beat the crowd of real people and not CPUs. It's a whole new way of playing fantasy football. The props act like stocks, and you guys can buy and sell those stocks all game live. So it is the only app that also lets you guys make moves after the game starts, so that you guys aren't going to be stuck with a bad pick. This is something I did. So like, let's say that the game is starting and you head into halftime and your stocks are looking really good, and you say, I don't think they're going to come out of halftime looking so good. You can sell them right now and grab that money. Or if you feel confident, let your stocks ride and go on. Download right now from the Apple Store. Not available for Android right now, but only for Apple iOS users. So download it using my code GLOBAL, GLOBAL, or by, of course, using the link or the QR code for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Check out Mojo, guys. I love them. I've used them myself. And of course, it'll get you guys in the giveaway for the Zeke Elliott jersey. But the time has come, Rob. The time has come to give away my most prized possession here of this signed Christian Gonzalez helmet. So,
very bad timing. Very bad timing.
You're going to tell me something bad in a second, but before you break my heart, Rob, because I know...
No, bad timing. You're giving a Christian Gonzalez helmet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to tell me he was like...
No, I'm not. I don't need no more bad news. Fuck that.
No more bad news right now. But yeah, kind of awkward timing that the day we announced the winner for the signed helmet, he goes down with an injury. So that was pretty unfortunate. But we do have a winner. We are going to select at random right now. Put all your names in a little one of those app rotational things that picks at random for you guys. And let's see who wins. All right. And we got... Brendan Major via Instagram has won the signed Christian Gonzalez helmet. So you'll have about 24 to 48 hours. We'll say about 48 hours. I'll be nice. I'll be generous. You won. 48 hours to contact me. Let me know your address. Let me know where you're at. Let me know where I can send this to you.
What's your social security number, Brandon?
So where I can send this to you. And obviously, if you don't respond within 48 hours, we'll have to pick a new winner. So I want to thank all of you guys who did enter the contest and did check out Mojo, sign up with Mojo, and support the channel. You guys, it massively, massively helps support the channel when you guys support those sponsors, BetUS and Mojo. Check them out. And like I said, we are giving away a Zeke Elliott home jersey next. So if you guys want to enter that, make sure you guys do download the Mojo app with the link or that QR code. It'll take you right there. Send me a screenshot, and we will get that new giveaway going for that Zeke Elliott jersey. But, Rob, is there any other kind of questions, comments, concerns, anything that you're feeling about how the Patriots performed today? Brandon, don't respond.
I got nothing, but like, did you see the Jamar Chase saying he was open all day?
I did. He was not happy. But you know what? Joe Burrow should not be playing football right now. Point blank. Joe Burrow is looking bad because he is injured and shouldn't be playing football right now, not because he's a bad quarterback.
Hey Jamar, we need a receiver. Please.
I'm just saying, you're putting your quarterback out there because you want to win so bad, but like, why would you not wait for him to be healthy so that you're not prolonging an injury? I don't understand that.
Well, with that being said, we appreciate all you guys tuning out. This is hard, guys, to even break this down and try to be at least remotely positive. And we're not saying we want Mac Jones off the team. We look, man. I'm still. I already said it several times. Give him at least a couple more chances. and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Love y'all.
100% agree. We appreciate you guys like always. Make sure you follow the channel over here at Patriots Global.
Apparently, I'm hilarious.
Most importantly, guys, make sure you hit that bell notification so that you get notified whenever I post a video. I haven't told you guys about that in a while, but it's very important if you guys want to be notified and actually get a notification that, hey, Patriots Global just posted a video. I don't want to miss out on anything. Make sure when you do subscribe, you hit that bell notification so that you do get notified. Go ahead and check out my other social medias too. We got Twitter, we got TikTok, we got Instagram. I post exclusive content over on there also to check out more of my thoughts about the Patriots. And of course, I always forget this is mirrored the other way. So it's actually this way. Check out Rob as I'm pointing the other direction that you actually are right now. Go check out Rob on Instagram at Patriots7, one of the most followed Instagram pages for the Patriots, to break down all of that news, and check him out over at the House Call Sports.
The House Call Sports. We're almost at 3K. Please just go follow us.
Go check them out, guys. I'll make sure I have everything linked in the description below. But we will see you guys next week. I'll see you guys before that. We're talking winners. We're talking losers. We're talking some more videos this week. But me and Rob will see you guys next Sunday to talk about post-game for the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. As always, though, we appreciate you guys for watching. And, of course, never forget, go freaking Pats.
Go Pats. Let's go.